She lived a quiet life with her twin children until all three were found dead. But at the funeral, an extra coffin appeared, and what was inside changed everything. It was a cold, gray morning in the small town of Fairview when tragedy struck the Andrews family. Elena Andrews, a 34-year-old single mother, and her twin children, Lily and Liam, aged 8, were found dead in their home. The news rippled through the community like a shockwave. Everyone knew Elena. She was a loving mother, kind neighbor, and an active volunteer at the local church. Her twins were the light of her life, bright, curious, and inseparable. The official report stated carbon monoxide poisoning. A faulty heater, authorities claimed. No signs of struggle, no foul play, just a horrible accident. The community mourned. Candles were lit. Flowers were placed outside their gate. Elena's sister, Rachel, flew in from New York, devastated but determined to arrange a respectful farewell for her only sibling and the children she adored like her own. The funeral was held 3 days later. Hundreds showed up, from Elena's old high school friends to parents from the twins' elementary school. It was supposed to be a simple service. Closed caskets, a few words from the pastor, a song Elena loved. But then, something happened, something no one could explain. As the service began and the caskets were brought into the chapel, Rachel noticed something strange. There were 4 caskets, 1 large, 2 small, and 1 more small one. Confused, she whispered to the funeral director. There were only 3. Why are there 4? The director looked just as baffled. Ma'am, we were told by the coroner's office that there were 3 children, not 2. Rachel's blood ran cold. That's not possible. Elena only had twins. Just Lily and Liam. Panic rippled through the chapel. People began whispering. The pastor paused mid-sentence. Rachel, heart racing, rushed to the 4th casket. It was closed like the others, but when she demanded it be opened, the funeral director hesitated. The coroner's report listed a 3rd child, he said quietly. Approximately 8 years old. Found in the same room. Open it, Rachel ordered. And when they did, her knees gave out. Inside lay a little girl who looked exactly like Lily. Same nose. Same curly hair. But her clothes were unfamiliar, and she was wearing a bracelet Elena never let her children wear, cheap plastic with strange foreign characters on it. The girl's face looked familiar but wrong. Not like Lily. Not exactly. Rachel gasped. That's not Lily, she said, backing away. That's not my niece. A murmur went through the crowd. Someone in the back fainted. The pastor rushed to calm everyone, but it was too late. Something was very, very wrong. Rachel demanded the other 2 child caskets be opened too. When they were, everyone went silent. In one was Liam, her sweet, smiling nephew. But in the other was another girl, also looking like Lily. 2 girls. Same age. Almost identical. But not quite. How is this possible? Rachel whispered. Where is Lily? Who are these 2? The funeral director, now pale, called the coroner's office. No one could give a straight answer. But when Rachel went to the police, a detective pulled her aside and showed her something that chilled her to her soul. There were 3 children registered under Elena Andrews' name, he said. But only 2 birth certificates. For Lily and Liam. And the 3rd, no record, he said. No birth certificate. No hospital records. Nothing. Rachel stared at him. Then who is she? The detective hesitated. We're starting to believe that Elena may have been involved in something else. Something bigger. Something dangerous. What are you saying? We're saying this wasn't an accident. Someone tampered with the heater. Elena and the kids didn't just die. They were silenced. Rachel's eyes filled with tears. Why? The detective leaned closer. We found notes in Elena's drawer. Handwritten. Pages of names, dates, photographs of children. Some crossed out. Some marked with red ink. She was investigating something. Maybe trafficking. Maybe adoption fraud. We don't know yet. But we think she was hiding a child. A girl. And we think someone found out. Rachel clutched her chest. Her mind raced back to the last time she spoke to Elena. Her sister had sounded tired, paranoid even. Kept mentioning people watching her, cars following her home. Rachel thought she was just stressed. She never imagined. At the burial, the caskets were placed side by side, 3 children, 1 mother, and a truth buried deeper than any grave. But as they lowered them into the ground, a little boy from the crowd tugged on Rachel's coat. "Excuse me," he whispered. "I know the girl in the pink dress." Rachel knelt. "Which one, sweetie?" He pointed to a photo on the service card. The girl in the plastic bracelet. The one no one could name. "She was at my house last month," he said. "With a man." He said she was his daughter. "Do you know his name?" Rachel asked urgently. The boy shook his head. But he had a tattoo. A red snake. On his neck. Rachel froze. That symbol matched one of the drawings Elena had sketched in her notebook. A red snake, curled around a key. That night, Rachel made a decision. She wouldn't rest until she found out the truth about what her sister uncovered. She knew now, Elena hadn't just been a mother. She had been a protector, a fighter, and she died trying to save someone else's child. The headline a week later read, "Mother and twins die in mysterious incident, but sister vows to uncover truth behind hidden child." And somewhere out there, in the shadows, the man with the red snake tattoo read the paper and smiled. Because the story was far from over.